92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good evening, 12 minutes gone past the hour of 4. Thank you for staying tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info, your talk news sports radio station. And of course, staying glued to hard facts with yours truly, Kala Dakaru Batterboy. It's time for us to revisit some of the conversations you and I have had on hard facts over the weeks and the months, and talk for development. Yeah, so basically what I want to do this Monday evening is look at some of previous conversations and see what the latest developments are as we push the conversation further. So my topic for the hour is revisiting, or should I say refocusing on the $3 billion loan by the NNPCL from the Afrexim Bank. That's the African Import and Export Bank. So you remember the story. We talked about it. I had a guest at the time, Mr. Cletus Ulugo, a development expert. He tried to explain that it was, a hedge fund in the way that it was supposed to help stabilize the foreign exchange and also help, keep petrol price in cap. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, the federal government and the NNPCL both did say that there will be no further increase to petrol price. And that was because at the time, the dollar to the naira was I would say huge. All right, the dollar had gained so much against the naira. The dollar in the black market to the naira was getting towards the 1,000 naira mark, somewhere around 950, 970 thereabout at the time. And so there was the fear, given that market forces now allowed to play, petrol price would also go up, also with the price of the international price of crude oil. Remember, we had a guest on Monday who talked about all of these things. I'm talking about Obele. Remember Obele, Joseph Obele, Dr. Joseph Obele. It was here or over the phone, and he talked about some of these things. However, I also remember that I had another guest. I'm trying to remember his name now. I think Liboros Oshoma, who did say that it was not there was no reason for the NNPCL to have gone to take a loan in order to help stabilize the Nigerian currency. However, when that loan was taken, we did see some improvement in the naira as against the dollar. The naira did appreciate. We saw that improvement. However, things have gone back to the way they were, or almost the way they were. On Friday, according to reports in the black market, the naira closed at 9.15 to a dollar. And also in the official, foreign exchange, that is the I&E window, it is reported that the Nigerian currency lost about 6.73 naira as at Friday, August 23. Now, in the black market, as at today, it remains the same, somewhere around 9.15, 9.20 thereabout. And it looks as if the $3 billion loan may not be doing much to stabilize the economy, or the naira, I beg your pardon. And so it takes us back to the reasons they gave. I remember vividly, and I'm looking at Premium Times report from that time, and it explains that, according to a statement, by the NNPCL, The facility will provide some immediate disbursement that will enable NNPC Limited to support the federal government in its ongoing fiscal and monetary policy reforms aimed at stabilizing the exchange rate market. The loan is also expected to help stabilize the foreign exchange market, enable authorities to meet forex demand, and improve the value of the Nigerian currency. Now, there are reports that, because we are very much import driven, that importers find it difficult to get access to, the foreign currency, the dollar, most precisely. There also talk about people who have, children abroad and how difficult it is for them, apart from the rise in the dollar to the naira. There's also the scarcity of the foreign currency. There's also the talk about the fact that the reason why it is the way it is in the black market, it's because of market forces. The scarcity has given birth to the current cost of the dollar to the naira. And then I'm thinking, if the reason which one of it was to stabilize the foreign exchange, that's how the naira reacts to other foreign currencies, what then can we say about the current capping price of petrol? Does it mean that what the government was trying to stop may come back, to become a reality? Because the reason why the government stepped in the first place was because the independent marketers were saying that there is the likelihood that they would have to increase petrol, and the federal government said no. But if what they have done, I'm not saying it has failed, but looking at our current reality, it's not working. And maybe it will work in the future. I do not know. But if what is happening now suggests that the plan of putting $3 billion is not working, what does that also mean concerning petrol? And basically, all I have are questions. I do not have the answers. And I'm hoping that with you on the other side of the radio and we think deeply together, we would be able to, have the solution to the problem. I do hope we do have the solution to the problem, because I'm also thinking, if the federal government is saying that it will not be able to use 90% of its revenue to service debt, and we are not generating as much revenue, and we have to go borrow from the Afrexim Bank not too long ago, I'm confused. That's all I'm going to say. But I want to get to hear from you. What do you make of this? I mean, the reason why they borrowed $3 billion in the first place was to help effect changes, help stabilize the foreign exchange sector, and also help with petrol prices. So far, so good. The petrol prices have not gone up, which could it have been that the money was basically put into the petrol sector? And if it was it? Okay, I'm not going to put thoughts in your head, but then again, I'm thinking in a particular direction. But what do you make of this? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to open the phone lines now, because if I talk some more, I might just tell you what is in my mind. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp number 0809-0306416. Revisiting the $3 billion loan from Afrexim Bank. Given our current realities, what are your thoughts about that? I really want to hear from you. I've got Clinton, and Clinton is calling from Bori. Hello, Clinton.
Yeah, Kalana, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Yeah, I remember some time ago when you had this conversation with your guests. No disrespect to him, rather, I think he succeeded in confusing us. Because I remember that I was against this particular loan. As you can see, it has zero effect on the price of PMS. Because the dollar now is even going up. So I think if the $3 billion loan was used in fixing our refineries, there is no need to stabilize anything, Canada.
But Clinton, talking about the refineries rehabilitation, I believe, has already been paid for. Remember, the contractors are already on site, so I don't think that $3 billion would have been needed for fixing refineries. And back to the guest did say that part of that $3 billion would be used as hedge funds, which means that we would pay in advance for petrol that we're going to, use from the people we're importing it from. Maybe that's the reason why the petrol prices have not gone up. Don't you think so?
Hopefully, let's hope that the price of fuel will not go up. Because if the price goes up again, I believe me, Nigerians will revolt.
All right. Thank you very much, Clinton. What are your thoughts? Because, like I said, questions begging for answers. The $3 billion loan said to be used for stabilizing the foreign exchange sector, but it looks like the naira keeps tumbling and stumbling as against the dollar. About in the black market, 778 thereabout in the official window. The current reality is that the $3 billion may not have had as much effect in terms of stabilizing the foreign exchange sector. But could it have been basically some way of paying for petrol to be cheaper? I'm thinking in that direction now, and I'm asking questions. Could that have been the case? Could that really have been the case? Because it's looking like the naira keeps tumbling, and I'm hoping that it stops, because all the threats made by the CBN to the BDCs and to other speculators seem not to be working. I want to get your thoughts, really. There's a commercial break coming up. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. You can send in those WhatsApp messages to the number 0809 0306416. What do you make of this? All right, because in Nigeria, when government reels out policies and the controversies are there at the beginning, after a while everybody moves on, everybody forgets what the controversies were for, and everybody just goes back to what they were doing. But I'm not going to let that be our culture here on the show. We're not just going to talk about something because it's trending. We're also going to talk about it as follow-up and ensure that we follow the processes and the right things are being done, and dividends of democracy spread across to every Nigerian. That's what we are here for. A commercial break coming up in a few seconds. When we come back, I will take your calls. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Hard Facts.
All right, thank you for staying tuned. Yes, you're still listening to Hard Facts with yours truly, Kala Dakuribasabo on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We're revisiting the NNPCL's $3 billion loan. And I'm asking for your thoughts because I did explain not too long ago that the reason why that money was borrowed was to help stabilize the foreign exchange, even though we have different economies who have given their views on it. And I'm not looking at it from the economist angle today. I want to look at it from the common man's angle. Now, remember also, I did forget to mention that there is also the controversy surrounding the foreign exchange, or rather the foreign reserve. These terms continue to confuse me. But the foreign reserves, JP Morgan has its assumptions, yeah, but good arguments. And the CBN has repudiated the assumptions and arguments of the JP Morgan Bank. But then again, there are these issues because the dollar is not circulating. It's not easily accessible. Banks do not readily have these available for manufacturers who want to import certain raw materials, and for other importers, and even for students who are, studying abroad. The foreign exchange seems so in a bad position, so to say. However, a $3 billion loan was taken. So there lies the big question. If it did not work as it was promised it would, what then happens? Does that mean we don't have the solution to the Naira dollar problem or equation? Does it also mean that it is likely to affect the petrol pump price? I'm wondering. These are some big questions, and that's why it's been revisited. But this time, I want it to be you and I who are talking, and not with. I know, yes, an economist would give an economist view and perspective on why it isn't working, why it hasn't worked. It might work, but I want you and I to talk because these are questions that affect you and I directly. 0817 923 0002. and 0817-923-0003. For WhatsApp, please send those messages to the number 0809-030-6416. You can go on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH, YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, X, Nigeria Info PH Real Life. Zion from Jerry, welcome.
I think the federal government, as for today, does not even know what is their problem.
Okay.
Do you know that if we as a people can focus inward, why are we so hungry demanding for dollar and deal with it? This will not be a problem. The demand for dollar in this country is high.
All right.
Our children are schooling abroad to pay dollar. To pay school fees, dollar. Our brothers are doing business, dollar. We want to buy crude, dollar. Everything, dollar. What do we do, sir? We float a bank that should be responsible for an offshore account. All Nigerians, if your son is there, have offshore accounts. So what do we do? Nigeria as a government now will now bear the burden through this offshore account to be paying their school fees, buying their products abroad, doing all the relevant things you need to do with the dollar. It's the Nigerian government, not the CBN, but a bank regulated by the CBN. Now you are not looking for dollar. All you need to do is to take your account details to that offshore bank administrator. What is the name of your son? Canada, schooling in whatever university abroad. Pam. They connect the school, they pay the school fees. Will you have the chance to go and look for dollar? Even in America today, there is a regulation on how much their citizens will be working about with their dollar.
Okay. So now, Zion, this is where government policies come into play, don't you think? Don't you think this is where the government would have to look at local production and ensure that their policies aid local production? But
we are talking about the immediate. If you want to say local production, and might take us 6 months, 1 year. We are talking about now. What do we do for the naira to gain strength? Not policies. The people you are talking about to do policies, are they not there? What are they not doing?
All right, then.
We are having this problem.
All right.
Before I leave the floor, sir, look at the CDs. CD is now hitting 500 for one CD today now as I'm talking to you. Don't forget, in 1983, 5,000 naira is equivalent to 500 million CDs. 1982.
Okay. Zion, I've got to let you go now.
The government should just follow this idea I've given to them and see the wonders.
All right, then. Thank you very much. I've got Peter from Awuda. Peter, greetings. Welcome on the show. Let's talk, please.
Yeah, Carla, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
You see, I want to say this. I'd like being very, very explicit. That we are too economical with the truth. What is the purpose of the subsidy removal? Now, you remove subsidy. Are you not aware that it's going to affect your local currency? So there is no provision, no plans. You just dive into removing subsidy. And where are the experts? The so-called economic experts. Did they foresee all these things? I mean, it's just appalling. We do things as if we're not enlightened. It's poor. Canada, I mean, it's poor.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much. Keep those calls coming in. Now, for those of you joining, this is what we're talking about. And for those of you who've been listening, maybe I'll do a recap. $3 billion was borrowed from Afrexim Bank by the NNPC Limited. And the reason at the time that they gave was to stabilize the naira as against foreign currencies. However, it's not looking like that. Our today reality is that the naira continually stumbles and tumbles against the foreign exchange or foreign currencies. There's also the argument about our foreign reserves, which means that we may not have that foreign currency enough in our possession, because the foreign reserve is the money that the foreign currencies that we probably have in reserve as a result of trade, businesses done, and all of international buying and selling. But it's not looking like that right now. There is not enough dollar in circulation for importers to import. Manufacturers do not have enough. And there are questions that have been, raised, and all of these conversations are happening. And right now, we are asking, if the $3 billion was borrowed for this, why is it not happening the way they say or said it will happen? And I'm also extending the conversation to the petrol situation. And I'm saying, now that the federal government has put a cap on price, and at the time they did that, they were hoping that they were going to be able to stabilize the foreign exchange. Now that it hasn't happened, would it affect the petrol price? Would there be a further increase in petrol price? These are some of the questions I have in my head. I hope you've got the answer. I've got Ida from Inkoro. Ida, welcome. Let's talk.
Yeah, Kalada, I read this session.
Welcome then.
Kalada, good money, use money for what you borrowed that money for. Now, this money they borrowed, I believe they should use that one to repair our refineries. Forget about the dollar. If you want to strengthen like as I am now, maybe your radio station now, you're working on your radio station very well. So that would have come will pay better money. Not that you will be putting your eyes on outside country. Is that. They borrowed one, let them use for refinery. Please, to work all our refineries so that everything will come down. Before you really increase, well, everything will high. Now, me going to my village in Corona is 2,500. Going and coming is 5,000. Before going and coming is 2,000 naira. So let them work our refinery. Federal government should please work our refinery. Anybody want to borrow money, they should not give the person again. Want to borrow money, you sign and use that thing very, very well. And just are suffering, no. It's not good. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ida. Keep those calls coming in, 0817 923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Now let's look at this message. It says, Mr. Kalada, our government is practicing voodoo economics with the masses. I can tell you for free the price of crude oil will drop to around $70 to $72 in the next 3 to 5 months. What the government has just done by borrowing from Afrexim Bank was to insulate itself from shortfall in revenue due to imminent fall in the price of crude. It is called hedging. The hedging will prevent Nigerian market for petrol to remain relatively stable, which ordinarily would have led to a drop in petrol at home front in line with international market forces for demand and supply for crude. Simply put, what they are just doing is to show up their revenue. All right then. Kalu, thank you very much for that one. Let's see more messages here. All right, I'll just go back to the phone line 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. I've got Obed, and Obed is calling from Port Harcourt. Hello, Obed, welcome.
Yes, Kalada, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Kalada, I think what is happening has actually shown clearly that this government was never prepared to govern this country. This money you borrow, why not channel this money to ensure that we produce? Kalada, I don't know the magic. I stand to be corrected. I don't know where a country produces nothing. We don't export anything. You understand? And you expect that the dollar will not go high. I'm not seeing the magic. You understand? Look, for me, what I'm seeing that this subsidy is being paid through the back door. That's what I'm seeing. Because I'm not seeing the whole extent of the borrowing. Today, the exchange of dollar is close to 100,000. $1 is about 900. I don't know how.
All right, thank you. But you
I don't know how we are going to say it. Honestly, I don't know.
All right then. Thank you, Obed. But first, we do export. We do export a couple of things, but exportation is not as much as we import. So, when we do the balancing, we do more importation than we do exportation, and so that's why it looks like our economy is not progressing. But keep your calls coming in 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Please turn off your radio set. There's something wrong with the phone lines, but just keep trying. Keep trying, and we'll get to take your thoughts on what we are talking about. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. This one says, Kalada, the issues are enormous. Nigeria is presently a case study in the Committee of Nations on a deliberate ruin of the economy by the ruling class. If they can borrow $3 billion and or more, why can't they borrow to revive our refineries and or concede these refineries to systems that can restore and sustain their runnings? The most painful one is petrol marketers robbing consumers in broad daylight, where you'd purchase petrol for 2,000 naira but you don't have 3 liters given to you. What sort of country is this? Alex Owuru Oyavu with that one. I've got Latam from Bori. Latam, welcome. What's your name? Okay, sorry. What's on your mind, please? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's on your mind? Hello?
I'm Latam Balovari. I'm calling from Bori.
All right, let's hear what's on your mind, please.
We are hearing about NNPC. We are hearing about to do it. We are hearing about this, our crew, down this. So Canada, I know be too much talk. Many of our people don't know that a father who cannot live out with true words, the house collapse. That is the problem of our country. Because all the leaders, they are liars. And children fall without not eating. No problem. So Canada, that is for me.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts there. I do not know what's wrong with the phone lines and why the calls keep dropping. You doing it intentionally? I do not know, but let's have a conversation. And I'm really asking what your thoughts are concerning a lot of the questions that I've asked. I'm not necessarily concerned about whether the naira is stronger than the dollar or the dollar is stronger than the naira. I mean, like someone did say, if we begin to produce locally and shore up our internal production or economy, we will be able to strengthen our naira. But I'm more concerned about what the federal government said it would do with the $3 billion it borrowed and how things currently are playing out. That's where my concern is. But I've got Good Hope, and Good Hope is calling from Chuba. Good Hope, welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome, Good Hope.
Good morning. Good day, Canada.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Last time I called you, I mentioned periphery. You asked me what periphery. We lack certain things that cannot help us in any form. Bring money to stabilize our forest is good, but is that the necessary and sufficient conditions we have been taught in the university? No. You're only buying things from the forest market. Taking. What are you giving us? It is what you give out that will balance the exchange rate. So no matter how much we borrow, we see the pursuing the peripheries. It is high time to be needful. What can we export? What is the major thing we can export? Think about that.
All right, then.
Okay.
All right, thank you for your time there. Let's take another call. Hello, what's your name? Yeah, good evening to you.
My name is Mr. Christian, calling from Ahoda.
All right, Christian from Ahoda, welcome.
Concerning our economy and some other things, that is why it's very important before the election. That debate that they used to organize makes a lot of sense. Because you will come and tell people, look at how I will handle the economy, look at how I will do them. The country, if the masses love something, they will vote for you. But if the masses don't love it, forgotten that have good agenda for the country. But for this government, I don't see anything good coming out from them in terms of economy and some other things. 2005. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. But is it really about the economic policy, or is it basically about the fact that our reality or realities have continually defied economic policies? I mean, because I remember during the campaign stage, a lot of people said, "Oh, remove subsidy. It's not good for our economy." Or some people said, "Oh, we cannot continually to, fix the naira against foreign currencies." They said it's not good for our economy. A lot of economists said all of these things. A lot of the candidates at the time also made some of these economic policies, but it's not what is our reality today. It's looking like our reality continually defies some of these economic policies, and that's why we're talking about this. Could it be that we are in a situation worse than we know? Like I said, I made mention to the CBN versus the JP Morgan situation. Could it be that we are in a deeper situation that we find ourselves in? Could it be the possibility? Could it also be that at the time the $3 billion was taken, the NNPCL was so sure that pumping more dollar into our system would help with some of the issues that we have concerning importation and the demand for dollar and all of that stuff? But it was indeed a very, very short-term measure. It wasn't more than a week or two. But what do I know? Let's see this message. It says, I'm thinking if the president's economic team really knows the problem of our country, they keep borrowing each time, but it ends... but in end, all we hear our stories. Bakata from Uzwa community. All right, thank you very much. And that's a view that I think I share. Do we really know the extent of our problems? And that's why we're asking the question today. If the $3 billion pumped into the economy to stabilize and also put a cap on oil prices, did not work 100%, then how deep is the problem? How big is the problem? Could it be bigger? Could it be worse? Wonderful. All right, 07923 0003. What are your thoughts about this? And it's time, we begin to learn to be very interested in economics as much as we are interested in the politics, because in as much as we praise our politicians and how they play their politics, we should also come to the understanding, like I would always say, politics beget policies, and policies affect the pockets of you and I. So politics, policies, and our pockets, they are all intertwined. And so you want to think about it. Yes, so as much as you're interested in the politicking, you should also be interested in the economics. And looking at this, if the dollar and the naira, they fail to stabilize, how does this affect petrol pump price? And that's an angle we need to look at as well. And that's something you need to be concerned about, because if the international price of crude oil is high, and even if it isn't, the petrol prices, the dollar is high, then how do we, what do I know? It means the marketers cannot get, even if the money was borrowed as hedge fund, like someone did explain, it means that the marketers, the independent marketers cannot get. Could that not be a pseudo subsidy era where only the NNPC has got the ability to import? Look at it from that angle as well. Look at it from that perspective. But what do I know? The calls continually still drop, so I do not know what else to do but to keep calling the phone line 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. I'm going to take this call myself now. Hello?
Hello?
What's your name?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Yeah, please, I want to contribute to the
All right, go ahead.
issue at stake.
Yeah, what's your name, please?
I'm Ojaka Kasniam,
All right, welcome.
and I'm calling from Imo State.
All the way. Welcome then.
Yeah, okay. The problem we have now is about the economy vis-a-vis dollar and petrol subsidy. But if I were to be the president of Nigeria today, what I will do is to minimally regulate the oil industry. The template to reflect the economy is there, but the leaders are not thinking about that for purely reasons best known to them. In the sense that Nigeria is an oil-producing country. If we go the way of exporting only refined products, we will have markets, both within Nigeria, within African, West African, African region, and even to Europe and other countries. How do we do this? We already have these young boys that are refining petrol. And let me tell you that at least 50% of the fuel we're using in Nigeria are fuel refined by these boys. But now, the government will go and say they are illegal refineries and destroy them. And yet you don't have the capacity to import. Even the fuel they import is even more toxic than these ones they call illegal refinery and destroy them.
All right.
What I think government, if I were to be government, what I will do is encourage these boys and regulate their production. And then where they are deficient, for example, the catalytic process, I can mass produce it and sell to them so that their products can improve. Then we can give them the petrol products, and then they refine it and sell back to government or to Nigerians, and then we export it. Nigeria will now, at the end of the day, at the beginning, we may not get the best product, but with time, we can improve on it. With this boys, now we have double, now we provide jobs for our boys, We provide money for the country. We now be less dependent on foreign exchange. We now be exporting refined products and not necessarily crude oil. Using our own oil, our own people, and in this way we create jobs.
All right,
not only do we create jobs, we create the product. And people, we can even sell at a cheaper price in Nigeria. And I mean, so what are we talking about? Why are the leaders blind and they're not thinking, wide? So I think the problem with us is our leadership. They have their reasons why they are calling these refined products from the Niger Delta illegal refinery. And they want us to go and import the one from Europe, getting jobs to Europeans.
All right, then.
And get our boys that can do the same thing. Tell me, the ones they bring, they call legal refinery, and the ones they will produce, they call illegal refinery. Which is finer than the other? All of them are talking this way. Go to any of our filling stations. You get the order of the way they are producing.
All right. Thank you very much. I've got to go at this point. Thank you very much. It's almost time for another commercial break. After that, we'll prepare for the news update and more conversations. Do stay tuned.